gonna show you this new project that I finished a while back, but I haven't really gotten to use it a whole lot yet because it's been so warm here. Now it's finally gotten about to snow, and so I thought I'd take it out into the woods, give it a try, give it a shot, and make a video out of it. Now, I was inspired to do this, I should say, by Dave Cantebury at the Wilderness Outfitter YouTube channel. Now, he was wearing, in one of his videos, he was wearing this really cool outdoor woolen parka. And I thought, I really like one of those. It's really heavy duty, sort of matte gray in color, and just had this really rugged appearance and looked like a good garment to be wearing in the out of doors. So I really wanted one of those. I went to the website that he recommended, and it was like $400 or $500. Now, if you add the toll and the shipping on top of that, it would have been just way too expensive to buy it. So I thought, well, it looks cool, and I have this old woolen blanket just laying about. I just tried to make one myself. So I looked at the pictures and just tried to figure it out. What it is just a full body tube kind of thing, and I added the arms. Now the body, the tube, is double layered, so it's really, really thick. I'll show you the stitches. You can see them on the inside here. These are, this is linen thread. It's waxed, so it doesn't really draw a whole lot of water. The wool does draw water, of course. This is not for a rainy day. It's more like a dry day in the woods kind of thing to be wearing. But it has been, I've added lanolin to it. I washed it in lanolin, which is a natural fatty kind of substance from sheep's wool. And that does definitely repel a lot of water. So it doesn't really suck up too much water. I mean, cotton would be way worse. And this would stay warm no matter how wet it got. The tube is double layered. The arms are not, because I wanted some circulation to get out. This is an area that really creates a lot of warmth and a lot of moisture when you work. So I don't want too much layer right here. There's also a pocket up front to warm your hands, collect stuff. You could put branches in here, leaves, whatever. If you're hunting, you can put small game in here. Any kind of stuff that you would want to preserve and keep warm. If it's really, really wet out and you gather, say, like birch bark for fires, you can also put them close to your body to dry them out. So this would be a good place to do that. Also, for nice details, I added on the arms and around the neck and around the hood reindeer skin, reindeer hides, to just for the appearance, really, and also to give it a nice ending. And it's also practical when you grab the hood, say. This is the hood. That was the most difficult part to add. I didn't really know how to make one. Just tried to make one out of cheap linen cloth first, and then made the real thing, which worked out pretty nicely. It's pretty big. You can fit like a big hat in here, or bigger than one than this, without making it too big to wear the hood as well on top of it. It's definitely not rainproof, but it is pretty much windproof, and it is very just nice. Nice to get out of the weather, out of the rain, out of the wind. Adds a lot of, or retains a lot of heat around the head, which is also important, of course. I added moose antler buttons that I made myself. They are it's these babies right here, one on each end. You can pull these down and tie them up if you want to allow for more air. You can also close it up like this and here, and then add this one on top of there. That would close it up, and you would retain heat much better. And then, if you wanted to, you could add the hood on top of there. Say the wind is coming from one direction, you would want the hood to stay like this. If it comes from the other end, you can close this one up, and then it would be flying about, flapping about. If it's really shitty weather outside, you can close them both up. I made it pretty big so that you can fit a lot of clothing in here. Also, the arms are large and flexible. So you can put on a backpack, you can bow hunt in this, you could use it for ordinary hunting. Maybe you'd want some kind of padding for the shoulder. You can wear a lot of stuff inside of here. At the same time, it's not too big that you wouldn't be able to put something on top. Say it's a really wet, rainy day outside, you'd probably want something to take off the worst of the rain, which this wouldn't really do well. Okay, now you're seeing it from the front here. Now you can see the front pocket, the stitches going around the end here. I sewed it up the edge so that stuff won't fall out. Now this will keep things from falling out, of course, and it's fairly roomy, so you can fit a lot of stuff in here. So this is my hand, so it's big enough for firewood, stuff like that. You can see my dog has keen interest for the moose antler buttons. That would be these right here. I used to saw them off. You can see the edge around here, and I sanded them down, making them smooth and nice. This is also just linen thread, and they are, of course, reinforced at the back so that they won't tear through. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, now, having shown you this this woolen sweater or coat that I made, I'd just like to finish off with a few perspectives on consumerism, also in the primitive survival bushcraft kind of culture, if you can call it a culture. I'd say that there certainly is a lot of consumerism as well. I mean, I can just say for my part that I've ordered a lot of stuff online and I've had it shipped to me over the years. That adds up to quite a long list. I'm sure that the same holds true for a lot of you guys out there. And I don't think that is something that should be encouraged. Bushcraft and survival, it's all about skills, not about buying skills, but crafting skills. You know, if you can't buy it, if you don't have it, then you can't use it. And then in any kind of survival situation, you are dependent on your ability and skill to make it yourself. So being able to make stuff like this has a practical component, certainly, you know, it can be used, but also it has an ethical and a moral value, avoiding to put pressure on the environment, on climate, and yeah. So I'd like to challenge people to try to, avoid to buy stuff if you don't have to. If you really have to have it, then why not try making it yourself? Use whatever material you have available. Use local materials. Use local traditions, and just see what you end up with. You know, a lot of times it will be as good or even better than the stuff that you can buy because it will have been made by you for you. So probably, you know, you're looking at a custom fit, which is always a good thing. All right, now this cost me maybe 200 crowns to make, which would be like 40 bucks, something like that. It's just an old army, British Army blanket that I had laying about. I wasn't using it for anything. And instead of buying the extremely expensive, but also probably really, really good quality garment, I just made it myself. I really do enjoy making my own outdoor stuff. It's just a nice way of learning, and it's a nice way of holding costs down if you don't want to use too much money on your stuff. Some things I think it's definitely worth buying, but a lot of the garments that you would normally wear, you can easily make yourself. And this is, you know, it's pretty high quality. The stitches are nice and tight. They're not gonna tear. The fabric, of course, might tear. It's wool, so it's not the sturdiest of things, but the original garment is also wool, so that's probably also prone to tearing. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect garment. I mean, everything has its ups and its downs, pros and cons. Wool is really warm. It performs okay in wet weather. It's perfect in dry weather, but it does soak up some moisture, and it's definitely prone to tearing. It's not very durable. It is, however, very easy to repair. You can add hides, you can add fur, you can add cotton if you'd like that, you know, on areas such as the elbows, here, shoulders are also prone to tearing, and under the armpits. If you're, you know, lifting your arms a lot, this area is definitely prone to tearing. So, you know, just keep that in mind when you make whatever you're making. The good thing about it is if you've made it yourself, you can definitely fix it yourself. And if it's used all the way up, you can just make another one. It costs you $40. So, summing up, I'd really like to thank Dave Cantebury for being a huge inspiration to a lot of people out there, and for giving me the inspiration to try to make this. I know that you are a great outdoorsman, and you are a huge inspiration to a lot of other outdoorsmen out there. So thanks, Dave, for that.